Hello there and welcome back everybody to the Duchy of Drive. Today is all about the Laney VH100R. But first of all, meet my new band. Should we tell the lazy bass player that he's only on probation? We'll see about that. But back to the amp. With the Laney VH100R you get a 2-channel all-tube 100 watts amplifier, and this amp was the former flagship of the Laney Amplification line. It was built in the 1990s and production continued in several iterations until around 2010. Laney itself sometimes seems to roam a little bit in the shadow of the other two big British amp manufacturers, namely Marshall and Orange. But I think they're quite unique. They do their own thing, and in recent years you might know Laney especially for their quite successful Ironheart series. A well-known user of Laney amps, for example, is Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath. With the VH100R being their flagship model, Laney really went all out in terms of power, features and versatility in this amp. While it theoretically only is a 2-channel amplifier with a clean and a drive channel, both channels are equipped with a separate foot-switchable boost section, so that you can say you get a 4-channel amplifier here with shared EQs for the 2 channels. It also comes with a built-in spring reverb tank, and the power section is driven by 4 EL34 tubes. But here also the versatility feature kicks in, because you can quite easily interchange those with 6L6 or 5881 tubes if you so desire to tweak the sound structure of the amp a little bit. The preamp section is then equipped with 6 12AX7 tubes. The amp in general is built like a tank. It's really solid, it feels really trustworthy, everything feels solid to the touch, and also it's quite a monster in terms of weight. It brings 27.5 kilograms to the table. That sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, and you wouldn't want to carry this amp around all the time. But if you were in a home studio situation, you don't do it anyways, and then that's fine anyways, or in the rehearsal room, or you hire yourself a roadie or something like that. But to carry it around, it's really great because it's equipped with these sidebar handles, which really allow for a solid grip, and you can carry it around quite easily. Not this flimsy leather strap here on the top, but really these built-in solid handles. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the control panel and the sounds you can get out of the amplifier. The first channel is the clean channel, unboosted, and this channel really is clean and it stays clean, and with the 100 watts of the amp you have a lot of headroom for it. It's a really nice sparkly clean sound. Let's have a listen. You can adjust the sound to your liking with the 3-band EQ, so treble, middle, bass here. You also have a bright switch if you want to have more sparkle in your tone. So here, let's have a listen to that. Now let's talk about the boost section of the clean channel. You activate it with this switch or via foot switch. When you activate it, these two controls control the volume and the drive of the boost channel, while in the unboosted clean channel you control the overall volume of the channel with this knob. So let's have a listen. So here we now get really a little bit of crunch into our tone. As you might see, I have the drive knob about halfway up. Let's crank it a little bit. Let's see what we can get out of this channel. So already quite a lot of driven signal here, already a nice rhythm sound with a nice voicing overall. Now let's go to the drive channel, switch it here. Now we're in the unboosted section of the drive channel. The volume and gain is controlled via these two knobs here. And as you see, we have the gain quite way up already. The volume is at around 4 o'clock. So let's see. From my feeling, it's even a little bit less gainy than the fully driven clean channel, but it has a different sound structure, and it provides also a nice rhythm tone. Okay, let's go all out. Let's activate the boost of the drive channel. You control the additional gain with this knob here, and the activation is done with this switch. And let's see what we get. Let's apply some more gain. So really a lot of boom, a lot of power already in this amp. If you want to have a little bit of a tighter sound in the drive channel, just use a tube screamer and you're ready to go completely metal with this amplifier. And you get endless sustain. So, and if that's not enough for you, you can also use the high gain input. Be a little bit careful, depending on the output of your pickups. This might drive the preamp section a little bit too much, but you just have to experiment with that. The last controls I want to talk about are, for one, the reverb controls. You can adjust the reverb independently for channel 1 and channel 2 with these knobs. You can also, depending on which effects loop you're using, talk about that later, dial in the amount of FX level independently for each channel. And you also got a general resonance knob, which provides a little bit of a bass boost as well. And now let's get to the feature-loaded back panel of this amplifier. So first of all, you have your power connector, then the fuses, and then you have the speaker connection section. And here you are really very versatile. You can connect either one cabinet, being it 4 ohms, 8 ohms, or 16 ohms. And if you have two cabinets to connect, you can either connect 2 8 ohm cabinets here or 2 16 ohms cabinets here. So really nice, really everything you could wish for. Then you have the line ins and outs. You have a preamp line out to provide the signal to a mixer or to a recording interface or something like that. And you also have got a power amp in. So you can really bypass the preamp stage completely and use a separate preamplifier if you so desire, and just you want to use the 100 watts of the power stage of the amplifier. Then here you got a little bit setback so that you don't accidentally switch it. The switch to adjust the bias when using different tubes. In my case, it's loaded with EL34 tubes, but as I said in the beginning, you can also choose to use 6L6 or 5881 tubes, and then you can set this bias switch to the appropriate setting. If you want to change the tubes, just have it done by an amplifier technician if you're not experienced in doing it. It can be dangerous messing with the amp itself, especially if you go into the chassis itself. Just handling the tubes isn't the problem, but if you have to adjust the bias a little bit even more, have it done by an amp tech, you're safe. After that, we got the foot switch connector, and this is just a 5-pin connector, which is also used in every MIDI cable you might know. So it's really easily interchangeable. You can also swap the cable from your foot switch, and it also allows you to connect the amp to a control switcher. I, for example, use a Voodoo Lab control switcher, which already has this connection also built in, and with this control switcher, I am able to switch this amp via MIDI. The amp itself doesn't provide MIDI, but you can easily make it MIDI switchable with this additional control switcher. And now let's get to the meat of the effects section. Here Laney really went crazy in my eyes, because you not only have this general effects loop with the send and return, which you can switch between insert mode, which is really just serial effects loop. So the signal from your preamp stage goes into your effects board, and the signal from your effects board goes back into your power stage. You can also switch it to a parallel or sidechain mode, where you can adjust the level with this knob. You can also, if you have it in insert, so in serial mode, you can adjust the overall level of your amplifier, of your FX loop with this knob. So already here quite a lot of options. If you don't use effects at all, you can also completely bypass the effects loop here. So this is already a quite powerful section for effects handling. But then we have this additional section, and this is really interesting because you can apply effects to either one of your channels. So you, for example, can go with a delay into the effects loop of channel A, and you can put a chorus, for example, into the effects loop of only channel B. You can have them switched on all the time, and as soon as you switch the channel, you also switch the effect which is applied in the effects loop. The level of these effects you can adjust with the effects controls in the front. And then there is this A and B return, where you can apply the signal back to the input signal of your effects back to both channels of the amplifier. So you can really go all out with this amplifier in terms of adding effects, in terms of signal routing. Great thing you have to try. I mainly just use the insert mode of the standard effects loop, because I'm running a multi-amp setup, and that works just best for me in my situation. But if you so desire, just go all out, experiment with it. Maybe you find a very unique use for yourself. Go ahead. So all in all, with the VH100R, you get a very, very versatile amp, a powerful amp with its 100 watts. It's built like a tank. It's really solid. You can rely on it in every situation. Only drawback is its weight with its 27.5 kilograms, but if you can live with that, go for it. The really, really cool thing is that this formerly above 1,000 euros amplifier is now purchasable in the used market for around 400 euros. Maybe you want to look for a device in your proximity so that you can pick it up personally, because shipping it might come with a little bit of extra cost due to the weight of the amp itself. And that shall conclude today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you liked what you saw, leave a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and if you want to get notifications about upcoming videos, click the bell icon. Until then, see you next time in the Dutchie!